In this video, I'll go through my Fartcoin price prediction and also my Fartcoin trading strategy. We'll also talk about exactly how I execute it in order to extract as much money as possible, because believe it or not, it's not too late to make a lot of money on Fartcoin. You might zoom out and say like the big peak has already been here, but there are some very key interesting things to take into account right now, and I think we really need to talk about it. Before we get into my exact strategy and technical analysis, I want to talk about some key interesting metrics here. We have the 24-hour trading volume being over $400 million. And checking back on the project, we can see in the dip here where it was pretty much as dead as possible, it was all the way down to like $50 million on the 24-hour trading volume at times, and peaking all the way up to 200 million, which is pretty interesting. It means that there is some trading activity on the project that is not in line with a steady increase in growth, but usually traders fighting about profits, which is pretty interesting. It means that the project is alive for trading. Now, what I think is a key point here to take away is that when the project itself peaked, when it grew really fast, the trading volume itself was very low, meaning the liquidity was very low as well. This is for many different reasons, but it means that the project is not as supported as we think. It's not as big as we think, even though it's on spot 77. This kind of argues against the point that I'm about to make. It's that we're seeing a $400 million 24-hour trading volume, but only a price of $0.7, which is kind of interesting because during the big peak of the project, we still only saw a 24-hour trading volume of around 400 to 700 million. Right here at the peak, we saw 700 million, but the average is somewhere in between $200 and $400 instead. Even during this peak here, the 24-hour trading volume is just like $200 million, which is interesting that we saw a higher price with that trading volume. And this provides us with two things to keep in mind. The first thing is the activity in the project is run by traders fighting for profits. It could be anything from day traders to bots and similar. There is activity on the project, which is a great sign for trading. This is one of the best signs for us when we're looking for great opportunities, and we'll get more into the opportunities here soon. The second thing here is that we see a $400 million trading volume, but not a price all the way up to $2 that we saw during the peak, meaning there is some selling pressure. There are people holding from these peaks here that are cashing out right now. They have been waiting patiently for the project to spike, or well, they have bought in here and they are selling now, putting some downward pressure. I don't mind this. This doesn't really matter because you guys know I'm never the one to buy and hold a project. I'm only here to trade the trends, only here to trade the projects and extract capital. Before we get into the Fartcoin analysis here, getting into the exact and precise technical analysis, I think we need to have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been doing its thing now here for quite a while, but it's very clear that it's in the red. You can see the trend lines even without putting them out there. It's so straightforward. And if we combine that with some support and resistance levels like 75k, we can see that we have maybe 15 days at most before we see a breakout or a breakdown. Now, personally, I would suspect a breakout, but then again, we have seen Bitcoin go pretty damn low, lower than we expected. Actually way lower than we expected. So if it breaks down, keep this in mind, it will affect Fartcoin. So we need to have a close look at Bitcoin once a day for the daily candle. That's it. Looking at Fartcoin, I think the best time frame here for Fartcoin is going to be 4 hours. The daily time frame has been performing absolutely gloriously. It's been amazing, but it's just so damn slow. I think we're missing out on gains because I think the 4-hour trends are still strong enough for us to extract capital. Yes, during the dead phase here of the project, there was some intense peakage that probably would have yielded some loss for us. That's fine. The downtrends in between would have covered up for that. No problems. We can have an exact look at it. Like, for example, if we do this downtrend right here and measure it, it would basically back to green on a break even. That'd be fine. The thing is that we use the stop loss as a mechanism in order to extract profit. we put the stop loss in at negative 30%, and then we move it into profit as soon as the trade goes into profit. But just checking in the next day, you would probably secure at least 10% gains and 20% gains with 2x leverage, providing you plenty of gains in between these fake outs to cancel them out. So how much have we made so far, and what can we expect to make in the future? If we measure the project on the 4-hour time frame with the entry points here on the green, we can see a longing position right here. This fake out is so tiny, we probably wouldn't act on it. When moving the stop loss up here, I think we would tend to be around 20% when we were stop lossed out, depending on how you move the stop loss into profit. There's also a chance that it would happen right here, but then again, you would have a new entry point right here because it did flip very, very fast in between here. So you would have a new entry point. So we can average this out, and I would average it to 20%. Now I think we would actually make more, but I'm going to be on the safe side and just say 20% in order to not be overly optimistic. 20% gains with 2x leverage, that's 40% gains. So right here, 40% gains, which is amazing for a first trade. This little short right here would actually give you a loss. A loss between 20 to 40% would go away after this trade here. And with the way trading works, this could actually cancel out because the project moved so damn fast. To be fair, we scrap this with this little fake out here, we would be looking at around 10%. And if you guys are getting bored by this video, I just want to say that this is what it takes. We're going step by step here, figuring out the best strategy here. I think it's safe to say that we would have made some money here and probably didn't lose 30%, but we'll go by losing 30% of this here due to how it works when you gain percentages and lose percentages. The percentages on a loss are bigger than they are on a gain due to how math works. That's the name of the game. If we want to be on the very safe side for how we predict the future here, we could say that we made 0% here. That's fine to go by that, and it would mean you would play it a little bit safer here in the future, but let's say 10% for now. That's how I like to do it. We go from the green flip here, and we just go straight for the first trade. The peak here is 100%, and probably around here is where you would have your stop loss to check out. It's pretty good, and it's pretty close to where it flips red again, but you would be getting around a 65% gains on this long position right here, just blindly following the indicator and no technical analysis. Now, we can see supports forming right here, and we're gonna look at those in a second, but right now we gotta write down the 65% gains. 65% without the 2x leverage, so meaning this is actually 130% because I always play with 2x leverage. 130% gains. On the downside here, we can see that we actually are able to secure some gains here, even if the flip here to the green would be almost a break even, only a 10% gains with 2x leverage. If we actually use the stop loss properly with the strategy, I think we would probably be able to secure around 15% here. We wouldn't really be able to grab the peaks here because we wouldn't be able to act fast enough. Maybe you were asleep while it happened or similar. We gotta take those things into account. So 15% to be secure, so another 30% on top of that. Now, this one here is a nasty one. It really is. So right here, you would enter the project and you would pull your stop loss into profit because otherwise you would have been totally wrecked here. You would have lost around 12%. So that's why we use the stop loss strategy. And for those of you that are new here, the stop loss strategy is simple. Whenever we place the stop loss at negative 30% when we put in the trade, it would stop us out of the trade at minus 30% gains. As soon as we're in profit, we pull it into profit. What this would give us, I would say probably around here 8 to 9%. I don't think you would be able to nail any of these peaks to be realistically. If you're lucky, sure, but we're not here to play on luck. We're here to do the math. So let's say 9%, 18% with 2x leverage. So we're gonna do that here. 18. Going on to the next one, we have the short. Yes, you would be able to snag a little bit of profits here, but it's so damn fast. I'm just gonna cancel this one out. No profits here. Moving on to the long position. This one is gonna be exciting. Right here, we go into profit right away, but then pretty much just go into a deficit. And you probably would not be able to time this here. It would be canceling out pretty damn fast. You would probably lose out on this one. And I would say you probably would lose out on, it's 4%, but 8% with 2x leverage, so minus 8%. And then just doing the last measurement here for this pump. We got an entry position right around here, all the way up to where we are right now. And that would be 53%, still holding the trade and sitting here right now. 53%, let's average it out to 50%. Let's say you pull the stop loss up right there now to 50%. You would be sitting at around 100% gains right now, just following the indicator blindly. Let's do some quick calculations here. You started with $1,000. You do the first 10%, so times 1.1. You get another 130%, so times 2.3. You get another 30% and another 18%, and then we lose 8%, and that 8% is gonna hurt a little bit. That's just the way it works. There we go, and from here we do another 100%. The thing to keep in mind is the time frame here. I think this might be sounding like too good to be true, going from $1,000 to $7,000 just following one project and trading it properly like this. The thing you really gotta keep in mind is the time frame. Most people are trading on way faster time frames, and they don't have the patience for this. From the beginning, starting out with $1,000 all the way back here, going all the way to here, it's 30 days. People are usually not that patient. So these 30 days, and if you were trading on the daily time frame, it's just crazy the amount of days. 3 trades over 150 days. I mean, people don't have that patience, and that's why this strategy is so nice. We are playing on patience. That's why we're winning. So if you have missed all of this and you're new to Fartcoin right now, how do you execute the trades? Do you enter the project right now and FOMO in? Just looking at the past history of the performance here, I would say you don't. You play on patience. That's what you need to do. You wait for the next trend flip. And if you missed all of this, or if you're holding a trade right now, a long position, just wait for the trend flip and move your stop loss into profit and just wait it out. Play the patience game. That's what I'm gonna do, and that is my personal strategy here. Let's put out some technical analysis and just think about where the project could go from here. We have a support and resistance level right around here, 0.369, and we're going to talk about the price predictions here soon, but we need to put down the support and resistance levels. I think we have one right around here, $0.6 as well. Does the $0.7 align with support and resistance level previous in the project? And it does. So major levels. This is a major level for the project right here. 0.7, we're right on the support and resistance level. This is going to be the deciding factor if the project keeps on going and climbing, or if it starts crashing down. We have another support and resistance level right here, and if the project changes direction right now, you could be screwed if you enter the project. So patience is key. We're going to wait for another trend flip. If the project just doesn't go below here, I think it could bounce in between here. That's a fair scenario. If it doesn't go below, I think we could see another pull into an uptrend, which is glorious. So if we do see another continued pull, we would go for the next support and resistance level, just eyeballing it right here. That would be looking at around almost $0.9, and then the next one being $1.25. That is where we could be heading in the short term if the project keeps the momentum. What I'm doing personally, I'm not buying and holding and waiting for the 2 price predictions that we put in. What I am doing personally is putting this in my projects tracking list right up here. That's where I keep all the projects. I'm checking in every single morning. I'm checking in every single time at around 3 to track these projects and trade them properly. If you feel like these videos are helpful, then please consider liking and subscribing. For those of you that want to see my entry and exit points live, I have a Patreon where I post them live. These videos are not as live because, you know, I record them live, but then it takes a little while to edit and post them. So the Patreon is there for you. The best exchanges that I use are also linked down in the description. But of course, you guys already knew that. Thank you so much for watching as always. Good luck out there in the market. I hope you all make massive gains, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.